Can everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the regularly scheduled meeting now for 7 o'clock. I'm sorry we were running a little late. We're going to move forward with the report of the chair. Joe, you have a recognition of a donation?
I do. We're very thankful to have Joe Malawicki, president of IARC Solutions, with us here tonight. Joe reached out to Principal Steve Swenson and I regarding a donation that he wanted to make to the Massac Fine Arts Department. Specifically, Joe mentioned the outstanding work of Massac art teacher Monica Gagnon. Joe's donation will be used for various art supplies, equipment, and resources based on Ms. Gagnon's recommendation. So we're very grateful to have Joe here tonight. Love to have Joe come up and just get a little recognition for his donation in the amount of $1,500. So thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Joe, you want to talk about number B?
Yeah, absolutely.
She could not be here tonight?
Yeah, it's a shame that that Shannon couldn't be here tonight. We do have what we give all of our retirees and for recognition of service for our board members as well. That's for Shannon Monaco for 8 years of service on the Board of Education. It's not a paid position. All you know that. It's more of a labor of love. So we thank Shannon for her years of service to the Board of Ed. And I know she'll continue to support us as she moves forward.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Shannon, very much for your years 2015 to this year. Okay, we're going to move forward with the reports of the committees. We'll start with our student representatives.
Good evening, Monroe Board of Education. I hope you're having a marvelous Monday. We are in for a short yet action-packed week. Massac welcomes Chris Herron, former NBA player, to tell his compelling story about the dangers of addiction. Beyond this, his story emphasizes the importance of self-respect, resilience, empathy, and compassion. His first presentation began tonight at 7 p.m. in the auditorium for all parents, and his second will continue for all Massac students tomorrow. We appreciate this insightful presentation with a powerful message sure to inspire our Monroe community. Additionally, students and staff at Massac are working to support the SWAG Community Center in Bridgeport this holiday season. The Red Army, Interact, and National Honor Society are teaming up to sponsor more than 135 students with gifts and clothes. Thank you to all who participated.
Saturday, robotics had their third competition at Daniel Hand High School. Team 4478U won the Excellence Award. Congratulations to all teams and good luck next week. Friday and Saturday, the Massac Theater Department put on their show Mean Girls High School version. With big crowds and outstanding voices, it was a show to remember. Finally, tonight at 5, the PTC and Massac Student Government accepted a generous donation from Ken Kellogg for our post-prom. Thank you to Mr. Kellogg.
For a brief sports read, boys soccer lost their last semifinal game for states 2-1 against Notre Dame, closing off the boys soccer season 5 days ago. And for football, we look forward to the last regular season game against their rival Newtown this Wednesday. I hope you all have a great night and a thankful Thanksgiving break. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your break.
Yeah, enjoy it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Moving on with reports of the committees, I want to let everybody know that Health and Safety met on Thursday. I could not be there. Sheila, anything significant from that? No, you reviewed drills and...
We reviewed drills, and our school shared out their safe school climate plans.
Okay, great.
Which will be on our website soon.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other board members have any other reports?
Joe, you want to do finance? Finance committee?
I could do that when I do
Okay.
when I do the chair
Report of the superintendent?
Report of the superintendent.
Is that all right, Dennis?
Oh, yeah.
You can chip in then, too. I know you were there. We're going to move forward with public participation. First up, Marie. Do you have the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Marie. Go ahead.
Marie Blake, 359 Wheeler Road. Is that too close? I'd like to address comments written by Chairman Ferris and read by Mr. Condon on November 6th. First, and I quote, "Complaints alleging misbehavior by coaching staff were brought directly to the Board of Education. As I have said before, these parental complaints should have never come to this table. You should have turned it over to the office of the superintendent and/or assistant superintendent. And then you said that no board members were the initial complainants. The word initial implies that eventually, later on, a board member was a part of the complaint. This board member had recent ties to the football program and Coach G and Coach Christie. And this, Mr. Chair, is a conflict of interest. This board member was in the executive session on July 5th and was, I'm assuming, a part of the consensus that was reached in that meeting. Even though this board member was absent during the fake vote on October 17th, she should have recused herself from the very beginning of these proceedings. Good, bad, or indifferent, she had a personal opinion about the program and the coaches. It is very difficult to put your own biases aside, and that is why individuals have an ethical obligation to recuse themselves. Next, you said DCF, Monroe Police Department, and the Board of Education are separate agencies with differing responsibilities and jurisdiction, and the action and decisions of one doesn't necessarily affect the actions and decisions of the others. We know those words to be accurate and true, but how does an independent counsel trump DCF and the MPD? The actions and decisions of one does not have to have an effect on the actions and decisions of the others, but it certainly should. If your decision is made independently of DCF and the Monroe Police Department, I would hope that your rationale for your decision becomes public. Let's look beyond this case. Complaints are usually commonplace in the educational setting. A parent doesn't like a grade, a student did not get into the National Honor Society, a baseball player doesn't make the varsity team, and on and on and on. The chain of command should be teacher, instructional leader, principal, DCF, and the Monroe PD if needed, then the superintendent. According to CABE, personnel complaints only go to the board if all attempts from the superintendent failed. According to the timeline of events, that is clearly not what happened here. So how does the hypothetical classroom teacher feel protected? How does the club advisor feel protected? How does the coach feel protected? Protected from false allegations, exaggerated allegations, personal vendettas. After this travesty of an investigation, I'm not surprised to hear people in our community say, "Who's next?" It can be anyone. But I do know that the last 138 days of this investigation will have a lasting effect on our students, especially the 14 senior football players and the 16 junior football players. It will have a lasting effect on all coaches, especially Coach G and Coach Christie, and it will have a lasting effect on parents, teachers, and the Monroe community at large. Thank you.
Thank you. No one else signed up. Is anyone else here for public participation? No one else? Okay, thank you. We're going to move on with the meeting. Okay, next on the agenda, item number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, both parties have mutually agreed to table this item until a future meeting, so we're going to table it and move forward. Next on our agenda is the consent agenda. Any board members have any questions on the minutes? Any questions on the warrant or wire? Okay, any questions on the budget transfers?
Move to
Go
approve.
ahead.
Move to approve.
You want to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Please.
Dennis? Can I have a second?
Second.
Second from Christine. Any further conversation? No? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much. We're going to move to the report of the superintendent. Joe?
Sure. Start with the fund activity statement. I'll speak for Ron. Does anyone have any questions for Ron? The fund activity statement?
So I'll just state what I stated at the Board of Finance meeting last week. Right now, special ed is, as Jen's been doing a great job of keeping you guys informed, is a, little bit of a point of concern. But, right now we're tracking okay, but a little hot. So, and again, I'm not concerned because we do have that reserve fund that the Board of Finance set up for us. So we're worst case, if we tap into that, then that's what it's there for, right?
Right.
The only other minor point of concern at this point is athletic transportation, and we've been using charter buses less than we had to last year, but we are still relying on them. So the game plan is to meet at some point before the winter sports crank up, just to see where we are and what we can possibly do about that.
I've had some phone calls with All Star as well about trying to do whatever they can do to get us buses. It's significantly more expensive, for us to be using the other buses.
Yeah, the cost of a charter is 3 to 4 times what it costs to use All Star. So it's,
Is that because All-Star's short drivers?
Yes.
Still? Yeah, okay. So it's still a driving issue.
yes.
I know I got a call from the Danbury News Times the other day. They were running an article on bus companies, still not being able to provide the daily transportation to and from school. We have been fortunate. We haven't had that problem this year. We only had it one day last year. There have been several times where Mike and the manager and the assistant manager have been out driving, but we've been in a pretty good shape getting to and from school. But the after-school activities is, they have just enough drivers for the third tier, so it impedes our ability to use them. So it's definitely more expensive. Like Ron said, it's about 3 times as much. So we're paying like $1,200 instead of $300.
12 to 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're sending 3 to 4. Yeah. And we're gonna run the numbers at the end of the fall season, just to kind of see where we are with transportation. So, just moving on, just a budget update and kind of a update from the Board of Finance meeting the other night.
Can we stay with that for a second?
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm happy to hear that he has little concern about the special ed thing, because I have an ulcer right now thinking about what Jan's going through, so.
Jen
it's
also has
good.
an ulcer.
Yes.
Thank you. It's like, but thank you, Ron, for putting me at ease. You've been antagonist.
So, obviously we don't know how it's going to track the rest of the year. Right now, we are, when you factor in the excess costs that we have yet to receive, we're okay,
Provided that percentage comes through.
So where I am right now, if we get the excess cost that I calculated, that I predicted, we'll be okay.
Is that going to impact you guys? Oh, that was just really loud. Going into next year's budget, are you anticipating a concern with having to add from like what we planned for this year? We're going to have to obviously add more, considering you got
Right
more
now,
students.
we're not worried about that. Because right now, we budgeted for the kids we have now, but then as this budget process
but
unfolds,
there's
when we
more
get to the
kids,
point
right?
where we start adopting the budget,
Right.
Yeah.
I guarantee you we'll have more kids.
That's
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
It's always a worry, because like Joe said, we budget for who we have right now, so
Right. So what you budgeted for now was a year ago.
I didn't budget for a lot of things.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you can
To your
budget for a
point,
lot,
to your point.
but we can't approve for a lot.
Go ahead.
Any other questions on that? Yeah, just to, I put on here, it really should be a budget update. We have the budget liaisons, that list went out to everybody. So the principals and department heads will be reaching out to folks in the next couple of weeks. I want to thank all of the principals and department heads. We've done all those meetings, put all this information into Munis. Sheila, Ron, and I were there yesterday, going through the budget. We have time blocked off for this Wednesday and tentatively this Saturday, and I'm sure there'll be some other days. It stinks coming in on a Saturday, but it's the only uninterrupted time where we can just work on just the budget. Dennis and I did, and Jen did go to the Board of Finance, like Ron said. Jen gave an update just to keep the Board of Finance apprised of where we are. They do have that contingency fund there for us. I also just wanted to give them, the heads up on the budget process and where we are. And, they're very much in the loop of understanding that ESSER and ARP ESSER funding has run out. And we've used those, we've had a pretty significant enrollment increase since the 18-19 school year up to now. So they're very much in the loop, knowing that some of the staff that we've relied on, and we've kind of weaned them off as we did it, but we still have staff in that ARP ESSER grant money this year that will have to come out next year. Another piece that I shared with them, we just heard back from our insurance broker, and as of right now, they're conservatively they're saying to budget in the low teens for health insurance. So the two biggest drivers in a budget are salaries and benefits. While that's, it's hard to swallow that, I am hearing of other districts that are in north of 21% right now around the state. So I don't know if it makes me feel any better. It doesn't. But and then the last thing I shared with them, and I wrote to you folks about, is as we were doing our budget meetings, I met with Lee Ansis, and we had known about this kind of bubble kindergarten class. Well, after COVID, we had this bubble kindergarten class that's now in second grade, and we thought, okay, that's that 6 sections that's going to go through Fawn Hollow, and then we got another 6 sections this year, and it really is, I don't want to say if we get another 6 sections next year, we can't do it. Really, they're really struggling to make it work now. We've got a special ed classroom with 3 special ed teachers in there, so they bring in 3 groups of students. With special needs, what are some of the biggest special needs? ADD, ADHD, you got 3 different teachers, 3 different groups of kids trying to work together. Same thing, our reading specialists, 3 reading specialists in a room. You're working on the kids that need the most, significant reading help. We have a part-time art teacher that's doing some of her work in the staff lounge, and we have a music teacher who does doing some classes on the stage, which is great, except for when they have the school store, then he's got to go do band in the classroom, and it's just not the way we're set up for it. So long story short, as we were talking about that, and we got right on it, we invited Box Modular out the other day to look at putting up portables. We have the facility study coming, but we know we're a few years down the road with any significant changes that's going to do. So we just we met preliminarily with them last Thursday, I think it was, just to give us some ideas, and I think we have possible solution, but it keeps growing. Lee is over, I think she's at 720 plus kids now at Fawn Hollow. Wow. So I just, again, we have a really good relationship with the Board of Finance, and I just always try to, I think they appreciate not hearing about this in April or May. So I'm just giving them the heads up, and I apologize because I usually like to speak to you folks first, but just the way the budget process unfolded in our meetings, I shared that with them first.
So those units will be in our budget. Sorry, Alan.
I think
We could budget for that,
I
if
think
that's
that's
the
what
way
we're
you
going to
wanna
need to talk about. Should it go in our operating budget? Should it be capital? Should we look at?
Well, there's an option to lease or buy.
Yeah.
The break even of about, 4.5, 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they go, I doubt they're going to leave, though.
Right.
Yeah.
They would stay, right?
Depends on
Alan, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to mention security. You have to address security concerns with regards to
One of the first questions that came up,
Yeah.
because if you're familiar with Fawn Hollow, if you go out, excuse me, we're like the back door there onto the soccer field. That seems like the place, the most appropriate place that we'd be able to put them. They would, I don't want to say attach it, but they'd put there's 2 things you can do. You can put an overhang that connects to the building, just to provide cover, or you can close it in. When you close it in, now the portables have to meet all the same code requirements as the building. If you don't, if you condition that walkway, heat and air conditioning in that thing, or mostly heat, then it has to meet all the codes as the building. So that's all stuff we have to talk about. But one of the first questions that came up was security.
Yeah, you can talk to Fairfield maybe because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have some of those.
Yeah.
And Joe, can we put in perspective the strategic plan? We know that's like 3 years out. So
Exactly.
how to make a determination whether you're leasing, buying, or whatever, depending on where you're putting this and what you're doing. So it's got to be.
Agree. We'll be at the 3-4 years easy.
Right.
If you're starting, if you're looking,
Right.
we're looking
You're
at
buying this
construction,
5-year
renovation,
potential, right? So
Easy, yeah,
you get a balance.
yeah. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Yep. Any questions for Joe? Okay, unfinished business, there is none. New business curriculum first review.
Yeah, I'm really excited to, Mike Crowley's going to come up with Cindy Boucard. Mike's Director of Instruction, Curriculum Assessment. Cindy is our instructional leader for special education at the high school. And they have come up with a really cool plan here for a new course in unified PE. You might be familiar with our unified sports program. It's an after-school extracurricular program. This would be a curricular program where students get their PE credits in school. So I'll turn it over to Mike and Cindy.
Tough fight over the curriculum? Tough fight over the curriculum?
Hi everyone, my name is Cindy Boucard. I'm the secondary instructional leader over at Massick in the STEM program. It's nice to see you tonight. So I really am here to discuss the unified PE class. I'm going to start with the vertical team. So that would be the collaborating partners of the program, of the PE program. So I would start with the middle school PE and the Massick PE and the special education teacher. The purpose is really to work together to plan, organize, and implement to implement the lessons that our students are going to be partaking in the classroom. We'll also incorporate the athletic director, myself, and Marissa and Jen, the assistant director and director of pupil services. Really, the timeline of this conversation started in 2021, 2022, so before me. The initial discussions began. And then last year when I came on board as a new team member, Steve and I met and talked about the importance of really incorporating and creating lessons for students with varying abilities to be able to take on sports and fitness and wellness activities in the classroom throughout the school day, because really we want to provide those equal opportunities for students. It was brought to Curriculum Council this month, and the hope is that we will be able to add that to the course catalog for 24-25 school year. The rationale and the purpose for the program, it's really long overdue. I've had the opportunity being here, this is my second year. This year I've really assisted with coordinating the unified sports. And if you haven't been a part of that program, it is such a humbling experience. Students are working together, they're coming together as partners and as athletes. They're building bonds that go beyond the classroom. This is the beauty of bringing it to the classroom, but it really is. They're hanging out at Bella Rosa, they're going to Big Y, and they're actually engaging in conversations beyond the typical peers that they would actually associate within school, because they're being exposed. So really improving the school climate, improvement through acceptance, friendship, and social inclusion, hands-on leadership, social emotional learning through school student interactions and activities. I really encourage you, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, we're here for Unified Sports. It's a great experience, and that's really just kind of a little bit of a taste of what the Unified PE course would look like. Vision of the graduate connections, there's so many on here, but for me, the ones that stand out are the cooperative learning, the collaborative learning, the common goals, making students feel and giving them the equal opportunities to become leaders in their own right, demonstrating kindness, equity, respect, social inclusion, making them feel part of the community, both in and out of school, managing feelings and emotions, incorporating team building activities, appreciating the needs of others, and really looking for more. Other districts that are currently doing it are Bethel, Amity, Bunnell, Brookfield, and Windsor Locks. I actually reached out to the athletic director today of Amity, and we're going to touch base after Thanksgiving break just to really see how it's rolling out in their school and really how we can mirror that here at Massick. The units of study, some of the units that can be incorporated, we actually are very lucky here because we have aquatics that can be incorporated. We have the use of the swimming pool. And some games and sports. When looking up some different games and sports that they can do in Unified PE, there is line dancing, it can be one, dance and rhythmic activities. There's a little hip hop. You can do really outdoor activities. There's hula hoop bowling, there's dots and boxes, there's all sorts of activities that you can really incorporate. The teamwork, the building, the trust, and really having students advocate for themselves and really teaching them, right? You win some, you lose some. How do you react in both situations? The course will emphasize inclusion, problem solving, forming positive relationships between peers. Some of the activities require additional resources, but we do have a special ed teacher that will be helping out in the classroom. But these are just some ideas of activities, and when I was doing my research of how we can incorporate. There's ring toss, the scooters are always fun. I remember that from when I was a child. Parachute games, really those team working, again, those collaboration piece is huge. And really including all of our diverse groups of learners here at Massac. I think that's all I have. That's it. Any questions?
Do you have the $3,000?
I wish.
Was that the arm wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding.
I clearly won. I'm here today.
Glad you got your money.
So students have taken one full credit of PE, and so the idea is they take their freshman half-year credit, and this will be an option for,
It
all
would be a
students.
PE, yeah, so we have to do one full credit for graduation for PE and one full credit of health. So the idea would be that half the credit would be earned freshman year for your PE, and then sophomore through seniors can choose to use this as a PE elective and earn the credit. So it would be a mix of special education students as well as general ed students to really have them working together collaboratively as partners.
And we have a lot of students who want to be part of unified sports in the afternoon, but because they're involved in other sports, they're not able to. So this is a great opportunity for them to, be part of that community also and support some of their peers in this program. So
We actually, in the unified sports right now, have 20. 8 are athletes and 12 are partners. So we actually have more partners than we do athletes, and they all go to the tournament. So far this year, we've done the cornhole tournament at Pomperog, and we've done soccer at Bunnell, and the partners are really involved and they want to be there.
Will you incorporate some social skills instruction?
Absolutely, we'll definitely incorporate some of that.
Is the PE course taught by, what do you call it, adaptive PE?
There'll be a special education teacher who will co-teach the lessons, as well as a general ed teacher.
But it's not adaptive.
It's not adaptive.
Right, it's not an adaptive class. Yeah.
It's a unified, so it has the ideas.
Oh,
yeah. It has both, so it's not adaptive. But some of the materials we have to buy may be of that adaptive. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Any other questions? No? Thank you
Thanks,
both
Jeff.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before I ask Jerry for a motion, I hope our staff and our students have a great Thanksgiving and some extra time off. So please enjoy that, get some rest. Mr. Stevens.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jerry. Second?
Dennis wants to stay.
Jeff, any discussion?
Can't have more fun with
None,
this.
all in favor? Aye, unanimous. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.